Hey guys, so for people who are watching this in the future, what's up with that music? Sorry. I made this a while ago. It's dark elf music. Yeah. It's like 2 minutes long. So progress update. Hopefully you can see my screen now. Yeah. So that's just stuff. Where am I? Here. Damn. Sorry, I'm just really excited because I just got this to work. You'll see these items aren't named. I forgot that every now and then it erases the name thing in my editor when I update the parent class. But anyway, that doesn't matter. What matters is that I can log in and out as this character. See if I log out. And all of these items were dynamically spawned when I entered the game. So they didn't exist in the game world from the editor. They were created when I created my character. So they're dynamic items. Because like, world items, that saves and loads no problem. So this is the impressive stuff. So that client logged out. This is a feature I put in a long time ago where I've spawned a new instance of him, connected his inventory to this character's inventory, set it to be in combat mode so I know that it's working, and then when they log back in, it checks if its name is the same as that, destroys this, and then copies the inventory to the new one. So it updates your inventory. So the way I saved everything, can I get to the game mode here? Is this whole shit. I've added more to it. Basically what I had to do is I had to remove the reference to the item in all my work here when I spawned the dynamic item, and replace all its stats, and then like replace it in the list of items so that when you spawn in as a character, see there, the dark elf music's over. When you spawn in as a character, I shall show you. I'm not actually showing you in detail. This isn't for you to learn. I'm just explaining how complicated it's been for me to do this in the past few days. When you log in, it gets your inventory. If you're holding an object, I'm only doing it on the right hand for now, for example. So if it's a dynamic item, so it's not a world item, then I'm getting its world save index and replacing it from that list again. And since it's getting updated when you log in and log out, see, the thing is, this is based on a bunch of arrays. So many arrays. I'm even like appending and adding containers so that they're done last, which was a big crutch for me. Make sure you add to your temporary array before removing from your main array, because if the reference is to that main array, if you remove it first, it's not there. That hung me up for a day or two. But anyway, I'm doing all sorts of new stuff, like I'm not even going to explain it yet. I'll do a video about that later. But you can see that it involves very complicated stuff. So I was very surprised when I tested this theory that, well, what if I just keep the server logged in, this human guy, and just shuffle all of the arrays around. So every time I do this world save, it clears all of my arrays, which I can show you. It clear all of them. Every time you pick up or drop an item, you're saving your inventory too. So since you're resorting the whole world save every time something happens, you would think that the player connecting in would not have where's that back? Would not have the correct item. It would misplace in the arrays, which has been the problem for 90% of the time. But if I were to mess around with these bags, let's say I'll open the left hand one and stow the right hand bags. Now this has 2 references in it, so it's different. Pick it up again on the client. And so this is a client, that's a client. And again, that's that logged out NPC. So this one has 2 bags. I mean I've done all sorts. You can see it's just drop these bags, get drop. It's doing a world save every time. So every time I do a world save, I'm clearing it and I'm resorting it. So an even better test would be to log in and create more items, but I don't have the ability to create items on any of these characters yet. So after all that, if I log back in this character, what I'm doing is I'm getting a reference to a number that was saved a long time ago, but since I was clever and did this whole NPC system, that inventory just got updated. And this is exactly how I left. With 2 bags inside of a bag with the 2 items. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle, everybody. So, the thing is, when the server logs out, everybody's character disappears completely. So I have to make it when the server logs in. If you're loading a world save, I want to save and load all those NPCs when the server logs in and out, so that, I mean, basically that's the final seal of persistence there. And then I can build off of all of that with, you know, buildings having containers and them stacking items inside of the containers of the buildings. Like, you know, there's all sorts of stuff to implement the same theory on, but yeah, for now, for example, this guy's bag has just these 2 items in it, so nothing else. I'll save and quit here. This guy, I'll round up all the bags. You can see it's saying world items saved each time. And you know what? I'll get complicated too. This is the left-hand bag. I'll stow the right-hand bag that had all those other bags in it. Pick up another bag here. Open that new one. And stow that other one. So now there's layers upon layers of bags inside of this bag. And, yeah, I'll just join game again. This dude. Just the 2 items. So let me take one of these layers of bag out. So let me see which one's which. This one. The one on my right hand, I'll drop. It has nothing in it. And the one that I'm carrying has bags upon bags upon bags. But let me just switch hands. There you go. Right hand bag has bags inside of bags inside of bags. As you can see, bag inside of bags. Alright, so I'll stow that again. All those bags are in there. I'll log out. On this guy, I'll just shuffle bags around again, you know, just to you know, pretend that there's been a bunch of players doing stuff with their dynamic items. Where's the server guy? I'll change hands, have this guy pick it up. You can see there's that stuff in it, item inside of an item even. I'll let the client hold on to it for now. Now I come back in with this guy. And I have a bag inside of a bag with 2 bags in it. Yeah. So, it's really, really nice. The thing is, now watch, if I, like, even if I just quit out and try to come back in, like, okay, so this client over here, 3 has the bag with 2 bags in it, and a bag with no other bags in it. Actually, because it doesn't save the left hand yet, remember I haven't done that, so let me just drop that. That bag's out there in the world, and I have a bag with 2 things in it. And this guy has a bag with 2 things in it, and a bag in it. Let me just quit and play. There's that bag. Like, okay, now let me just, I think if I logged in just like this without changing anything, it might work correctly, because I haven't changed anything. There's been no shuffle, so everybody should log back in with the same stuff, maybe? A bag with a bag in it. A bag with just 2 things in it. Okay, so it did sort of work that way. That's like, you know, if you're playing with only 5 players, you all log out, the server closes, you all log back in. The game would work like that, theoretically. You know, if this was like a Dungeon Master style 5-player party game. So let's just quit out again, but this time I will log in and pick up that bag over there. Or I'll shuffle things around, basically. Yeah, so I'll pick up this bag over here. Oh, it has the stuff in it. Cool. But the world has been shuffled now. So when I log back in as these characters, their AFK guy isn't there to save, to update with. So let me just see what happens. I think it basically at this point, this is where it breaks. Maybe I have to like modify the game, the bag for it to break, but I'm not sure. I didn't really keep track of this shit. What happens is they'll just get shuffled around. So let me just get this bag. Okay. Drop that one. So I'll know that this elf guy has one bag inside of his bag. Oh, I know what the problem is. See, look. Yep, that's duplicated of the same item there. So yeah, it got bugged out at that point. Because it's referencing a number that has been shuffled around a bit. So it's like, you know, I had 2 copies of the same bag with different players there. Whereas that problem hadn't shown up until I hit that point. So, so the trick is that it does work when the server stays on and that NPC is there, or if everybody just logs out and logs in without anything changing. So I just have to make the server like get all those characters and spawn them in, and that would complete the circle. So I'll show where that happens, which is what this is down here. I did it a while ago and I was like, finish this from post logout basically. Just these actors linger if you don't destroy them, the hand actors, so destroy those. This is when you log in, so it's just related. So yeah, when you log in, all account names for each loop. If it equals, then right, add it to all account names for each loop of all AI names. If it's true, then I want to take it out of the list of AI names. See, I set that up for myself in the future. And then remove it from logged out character. I already set this up, basically. I just haven't implemented yet. AI info, AI attributes. That's cool. So that's good to know. And then removing, yeah, I have arrays of their inventories, attributes, and infos there. So basically what's happening is when you log out, yeah, remove from the list of account names, but add it to this list of AI names and load your save game after you've logged out. Get your attributes and other various attributes here, spawn a character for you, and apply these attributes with rep notify and everything, with all the various things that have to happen for a character. Possess it with the default controller, which I guess is the last thing to happen here. But on the way, get your hand actors, adjust them. So all this stuff that's on the third person blueprint is actually also happening here. So I have to include inventory, static meshes, and I want the save game to interact with that. So this is the save game. This is where you're saving data. So after all this, I want to be like, okay, so get all AIs, and then on the load game, I want to add a branch off of this eventually, wherever it ends. That's a mystery. Maybe just use it part of the sequence here. And say, okay, get all AIs and load them up so that it's as if the characters themselves have just logged back in. So that'll be fun. I have to brainstorm about exactly how to do it, but you know. Nobody here. Come on, it's a Sunday. Nobody's here. I got 3 viewers. That's cool. So maybe I'll do something that's not brain numbing. Like creative stuff, right? Although I kind of am hesitant to do stuff like that unless, you know, it's gonna work. We can just look at some of this stuff. No, I just want to do a progress update. I'm gonna play some Fortnite. Look me up on PS4. But yeah, one more time. Let me just demonstrate some of the workingness of it. Actually, no, I need to start from scratch because I bugged it out. But basically, the persistent world factor, if the server stays logged in. Doesn't even have to be a character. I'll just run around with clients. Oh, who am I kidding? You saw it already. I'm gonna go play Fortnite. Alright. I'll be back at this very soon.